The events for the 2025 Rogue Invitational have been released, and I'm going to go through them with you today. I'd love to know your thoughts on them, so be sure to get in the comment section at the end of the video. But quickly, I'm going to rattle through the 10 athletes that are competing. So I'm just going to read it off my iPad because that makes life a lot easier. We've got Tom Stoltman, Hafthor Bjornsson, Mitchell Hooper, Rain O'Neill, Lucas Hatton, Paddy Haynes, Evan Singleton, Thomas Evans, Trey Mitchell, and Austin Andrade. So there are 6 events held over 2 days, 3 on the first, 3 on the second, and they are starting with the Apollon's wheels or wagon wheel axle deadlift for max weight. So essentially this is a max 18-inch deadlift. You get 3 attempts to establish a max weight. So it's not like a rising bar, it's much more like a powerlifting competition is done where you get 3 attempts and your top lift, your third lift, is the winning weight. They do something similar at the Strongest Man on Earth with the log press where you get 3 attempts. Now an 18-inch max deadlift is something that I don't think we've seen for a while, so it will be quite good to see. We've got Hafthor Bjornsson there who will be looking to probably take the world record on this deadlift as well. I'm assuming it's going to be raw, no suits allowed. I would assume figure of 8s are allowed with it being an axle, but I'm not 100% on that. It might still be figure 6s. They'll just have to use longer ones. Event number 2, an event that seems to be sort of coming back into fashion, I suppose you could say, that is the Viking press. No idea on the weight, no idea on the type of equipment that's going to be used, but with it being Rogue, you can imagine it will be quite big and spectacular. I personally do quite like this event. It's quick, it's easy, and it shows who's got the strongest shoulders. It's max reps, 60 seconds, and whoever gets most wins the event. Event number 3 is one that we've seen before at the Rogue Invitational. I believe it was last year. It's the Yoke escalator. So Yoke into power stairs. There's 4 stairs. The thing with this is that the power stairs are quite heavy, or they were last year, but the steps are a lot shallower. So it is a bit of a drag race. I believe it was a 400 yoke into the power stairs last year, and it was quite a fast event. I'm hoping that they make the stairs a little bit taller and maybe even make the weights lighter, but they probably won't. They'll probably just use the exact same equipment, as that's what's easier to do. But even though I have a few little complaints about that event, I actually did enjoy it. I think it's a good one. I just think it could be done. It looked a bit more CrossFit-y than strongman. Power stairs, for me, you need to have people struggling to get it on the stair. It shouldn't just be a 600-pound power stair. Should be a really challenging set of power stairs to do. It shouldn't be as easy as a lot of them made it look. The 4th event then is another returning event, and that is the Circus press medley, one that we had last year as well. I believe it was last year, maybe the year before, where you have a kettlebell press into a dumbbell press into 2 separate barbells, axles, like Circus barbell. I'm assuming they're going to do exactly the same. Looking at people's trainings, there's a lot of people pressing kettlebells, pressing dumbbells, and just doing regular presses as well. So my assumption is it's going to be exactly the same as before. It's a good event. It's a press medley. It's simple, and there's certainly some good pressers in this show and some that aren't so good at pressing in this show. So it'll be an interesting one. Event 5, and another returning one. It is the power drive. Again, I'm assuming they're going to do it exactly the same as before, where you essentially push a big hay bale and then you run a Husafell bag around a plinth and put it back in a tiny little red square, which I hate that part of it, but it is what it is. And then it's a sled drag, an arm over arm, and fastest time wins. You're looking for people like Thor on this event, will be very good at it. I can't remember who won it. I think it probably was Thor that won it last year. Again, I enjoyed the event. It's something different with the sort of hay bale push that we haven't seen before. The Husafell carry is pretty standard. Like I say, it was just sort of dropping it into that tiny red square. I'm like, just do a line, make them get it over the line. That's okay. And the sled drag was just a sled drag, but it was heavy and difficult for the athletes, and I'm excited to watch this one again. The 6th event is the Mons Meg Stones. I believe it's just going to be an Atlas Stone run. The Mons Meg is a medieval cannon, Scottish cannon, and if you take a look on Wikipedia, you can see it, and the cannonballs were basically Atlas Stones, big 175 kilo concrete balls. And from watching, again, Lucas Hatton, he's been doing heavy Atlas stones with a run-in, so I assume it's just going to be an Atlas stone run, but with a run-in to start with, and they're just calling it the Mons Meg stones because it's in Scotland and it relates to the heritage. So that is all 6 events over the 2 days. Like I said, be sure to let me know what you think of them in the comments below. I am going to do a predictions video later on. I want to see how people are training, see how they're all getting on, and then I'll do a full predictions video. So make sure you're subscribed to the channel so that you don't miss that one. But for now, make sure you leave a like, comment down below, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.